taking the picture. We will take the picture here with him, and maybe the officials. He will sign this copy and hand them over to you, so that time can be of essence and gives you enough time to prepare for the house. I thank you.
Is a people-centered parliament. It's a parliament that belongs to all of you and me. And we are always very delighted to have visitors like you come over to parliament. And we believe with your help we shall grow as Parliament of Uganda in order to help and serve our young people outside there. We want in a special way to thank the Federation of Boxing, headed by Mr. Muhanji Moses, for supporting our youth in the boxing that they are participating in. As Parliament of Uganda, we know that you're going to be able to support the boxing association in Uganda, and we are grateful about that. And also as Parliament of Uganda, in order for us to give it back to the community in terms of corporate social responsibility, we would request that as a president of the International Boxing Associations, that you support us and give us the 17 rings. We shall give 1 ring to police, 1 to the army, 1 to prisons, and then 14 we shall give it to our different sub-regions in the country. So that is our request as Parliament of Uganda. But still as Parliament of Uganda, are supposed to do in terms of legislation, making laws that support boxing. We will also support the federations in terms of resources, appropriation of funds that we can appropriate, but putting in mind that our resource envelope as Uganda is very small. And we really want to thank you for coming in and supporting our federation. And as we do this, we are at the peak of where Uganda is doing very well in terms of sports. We've recently won in the Olympics. In the Commonwealth Games, we have won. Football is also doing very well. And I would request that the president of the Boxing Federation works hand in hand with National Council of Sports and other sporting bodies so as to promote boxing in the country. We will give you our commitment as legislators of this country. This is the second arm of government. And being the second arm of government, the boxing federations need us more than they need anything. And as we speak, we will give all our support to the federations to ensure that the youth do what they can do best, which are untapped. So if you give us the 17 rings, we will also be able to help you in tapping out the talents which are outside there. Because as of now, it is only zeroed down within Kampala. But we need to reach outside there to the locals. That will make the game our game. Once more, I want to thank you. And I want to really appreciate you for considering to visit Parliament of Uganda. And where there is need for any support, we are always available. We know there are gaps that are there in the sporting law. We have an absolute law in sports. But of recent, a private member introduced a sports bill 2022, and it is in our committees, and that will be able to give a remedy to all the gaps that are there in the Sports Act. Once more, thank you and welcome to Parliament of Uganda.
Chance, and you allow me to meet the International Boxing President. We know you have a very, very tight schedule. We know you have Parliament waiting for you, but we are grateful for this moment. Most of the things you've said them, and since you do not have time, let me allow my patron to say something. But before I do that, I will introduce the team that we have so that you can have an idea of who they are. Madam Speaker, this is President of International Boxing Association. Next to him is his interpreter, Madam Alisa. Then next we have the President of African Boxing Confederation, Mr. Mendoga Bertrand. He's the President of Boxing Africa. Then next we have the Vice President of Boxing Africa, Mr. Omar Ogege Azania from Nigeria. He's also the Vice President of Nigeria Boxing Federation. Here with me is the President of Kenya Boxing Federation, this gentleman here. He goes by the name of Jamal Mboko. He traveled all the way to have a chance to meet Mr. Umar Kremelev. With me here is Basil Kalong, the Secretary General of African Boxing Confederation. We have other friends that are here, but due to the fact that we don't have so much time, let me pass on the microphone to my patron to say something.
That Honorable Anita, the President of the International Boxing Association, Brother Umar Kremelev, and your delegation of leaders on the African continent, and your team that you've come with and flown into the country today. I would like to thank you, Right Honourable Speaker, and the members of Parliament who are here for having accorded us the opportunity to meet you. Parliament of Uganda, under you, is the voice of the people of Uganda. The voice of the people is the voice of God. You now hear and you represent the entire Parliament of Uganda, and we're exceedingly humbled and profoundly honored to have been received by you this afternoon, despite your busy schedule. But I want to assure you, Right Honourable Speaker, that boxing in Uganda, with the arrival of Umar Kremelev and his entire team, is going to change. Mr. Umar is very dynamic, result-oriented, and he loves Africa. And I want to assure you and the entire country that the visit of the President is a testimony and a footprint of the commitment for him, as he has committed, to build the largest boxing academy in the African continent, in Uganda. Number two is that Uganda, being in the center of the African continent, and we have asked him that since Uganda is in the high center of the entire continent, we could build the headquarters of the Africa Boxing Association in Uganda, in Kampala. I know that my brothers would love to see this in other places, but this is the best center. And I want to assure you that our brothers and sisters from other regions will learn and get support from Uganda. Finally, I want to assure you, Madam Speaker, that we have had engagements with the President. He has visited the site. His Excellency the President is committed to supporting us, and through you and members of Parliament, Uganda Boxing Federation will be one of the leading associations in the country in sports. And with your support as you have made, I want to request my brother to be assured of country's full support, right from the President, the Speaker, members of Parliament, and the entire population. I want to, through you, Madam Speaker, once again to thank you for having accorded us the opportunity to meet you despite your busy schedules as you prepare to go and chair the House. May I take the singular honor to now invite Brother Umar Kremelev to address the Speaker and the country as a whole. I thank you.
First of all, I would like to thank Honorable Speaker of the Parliament, Madam Anita. Thank you very much. You, as a representative of the people of Uganda, as a trusted representative person, we're very happy to meet you.
всем народом Уганды увидеть.
Because I would like, of course, to see the whole people of Uganda.
Очень добрые, теплые, открытые сердцем.
The people is very kind, with warm heart and open.
Ну, как и представитель народа Уганды, я вас благодарю и говорю спасибо за поддержку бокса, развитие бокса в нашей стране.
And I would like to thank you as a representative of the people of Uganda for the support of boxing and the development of boxing inside the country.
Ну, приветствие это не просто приехать, потому что я приехал с большими планами.
My arrival is not just to visit the country. I have come here with great plans.
Чтобы реализовывали различные проекты на год.
In order to implement various projects for long term.
Сегодня мы сделали закладку камня Академии.
Today we laid the stone for the future boxing academy.
Мы сейчас в ближайшее время будем делать проект и сделать все возможное, чтобы начать строительство в следующем году.
And in the near future we will implement further project, and we will do all our possible to start the construction process within the next year.
Помимо этого мы не только рингами поможем, мы еще поможем. Уже привезли 500 пар подарок перчатки боксерам. Я сам лично раздавал детям.
Apart from helping with the boxing ring, we have already provided support in the forms of boxing gloves. We have brought 500 pairs of gloves, and me personally, I handed it over to boxers.
Вот, и мы это будем продолжать. Наша главная задача – это развитие вообще бокса в Африке.
And we will continue to provide support, and our main mission is to develop boxing in Africa in general.
Так как Уганда стоит в центре Африки,
And as Uganda is standing in the center of Africa,
и первое, где будет именно Академия бокса.
it will be the first country with the boxing academy.
И мы помимо Академии бокса мы будем сейчас обсуждать, чтобы у Федерации бокса были финансы, чтобы это все открывалось. Мы также обсудим бизнес-проекты.
And apart from the academy, we will also discuss various business projects in order to bring financial stability and financial profit to the association of Uganda.
Финансировать спортсменов, тренеров, чтобы могли спонсировать выезды их на соревнования международные.
In order to provide the opportunity for Uganda Boxing Federation to sponsor the athletes and the coaches, for them to be able to go to international competitions.
Будет очень, сказал председатель, полная поддержка.
So, Madam Speaker, we will provide our full and entire support.
Вам будет только просьба принять закон и поддерживать нас.
Only one request to you is to make the right laws pass and to support boxing in Uganda.
Чтобы улучшить развитие спорта Уганды.
In order to improve the development of sports in Uganda.
В мире два вида спорта всего лишь собирают стадионы, это футбол и бокс.
In the world, there are only two sports that gather the stadiums of spectators. It's football and boxing.
На бокс не надо так много вкладывать, но один спортсмен может на весь мир представлять страну.
But there is not much investment that is needed for boxing. On the contrary, only one single athlete can popularize the whole country across the globe.
А если это будет целая команда,
And if it's the entire team of athletes,
и учитывая бокс единственный вид спорта, который восстанавливает для ребенка, для взрослых кардио,
we also take into account that boxing is a unique sport, the only one sport that helps to establish the level of cardio for kids, for adults.
и также бокс единственный вид спорта, который дает правильную дисциплину, воспитание. В каждой стране важно, чтобы гражданин страны должен быть патриотом, а это дает только бокс, такую дисциплину, потому что он, когда приходит в бокс, он уже победитель.
And also boxing is the only one sport that provides a great discipline and great order for each athlete, and of course for each country it's crucial that the athlete is disciplined and is devoted to his own country to represent it in the international arena.
И боксом можно заниматься везде, и на улице, делать залы, площадки летние. Из-за этого бокс тот вид спорта, который с улиц соберет детей, и эти дети могут принести, защищать имя страны, принести золотые медали для страны.
And the person can do boxing anywhere on the streets. You can build boxing gyms and to provide the opportunities for the athletes to gather the stadiums and to bring the medals for their own country.
Сегодня все понимают, что бокс это больше, чем спорт.
Today everyone understands that boxing is more than just a sport.
Потому что бокс есть везде. Все военные занимаются им, вся полиция занимается. И мы хотелось бы, чтобы вы тоже поддержали, что бокс внедрить как урок физкультуры в школы и в институты.
Because boxing is done everywhere by military people, by police, and I would like also to seek your support in order to introduce boxing as a discipline in school, along with the physical culture. In order to introduce it in schools and universities.
У нас есть программа, что давайте как физкультурную программу в школах учить бокс.
We have a special program, and with your support we could include boxing in the program of schools and universities.
Мы сможем обеспечить школы также инвентарем, где можно проводить уроки. Федерация Уганды будет проводить эти уроки и давать тренеров.
We would be able to provide the schools with the special materials and inventory, and the Boxing Federation of Uganda will be able to provide the lessons of boxing in schools.
В многих странах уже внедрено, например, я сам из России, в России бокс и в школах, и в институтах, которые
In many countries we have already introduced boxing as the mandatory discipline in schools. For example, me, I originally come from Russia, and in Russia many schools boxing is a discipline.
Вот я буквально 3 дня назад встречался с президентом Кубы. У них также бокс включен в школы, в институты, как программа обучающая.
Just 3 days ago, I met with the president of Cuba, and in Cuba, boxing is included as a mandatory program, a mandatory discipline in schools.
В многих европейских странах также.
And the same situation is in many European countries as well.
В Венгрии, в Италии мы 2 года назад включили, сейчас очень эффективно работает.
In Hungary, in Italy, we introduced boxing in schools 2 years ago, and now it really works efficiently.
В Англии это бокс, он как физкультурная программа.
In England, boxing is a part of the physical culture program in schools.
Ну, очень много стран можно перечислять, и хотелось бы вашей поддержки также учить бокс.
So there are
Программу школьную.
numerous countries that already use it, and would like to seek your support to also include it in the school program in Uganda.
Что материально потребуется, будет поможем, как международная ассоциация бокса.
With regard to the material support, we will be able to provide it as the International Boxing Association.
Right Honorable Speaker,